Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Board of Health meeting for Thursday, September 30, 2021. This is a remote participation Zoom meeting, also a public meeting, being recorded for cable and internet posting on www.untitled. Excuse me while I put my glasses on. -mass.gov and YouTube. Zoom meeting number 897-1131-3757. Zoom meeting passcode 097536. Zoom dial number 1929-205-6099. I'll call the meeting to order. It's 5:34 p.m. And if you wouldn't mind standing and joining us in the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Don't forget to do a roll call. Just one.
Oh, that's right. Present this evening, myself, Thomas Byers, board member Kevin Bernardo, our administrator, Mr. Michael Mullen, our health agent Todd Pilling, and office manager Rosalind Grassi. First order of business number 3 is to request a motion to go into executive session regarding personnel matters, Mass General Law, Chapter 30, Section 21A1. This is continued discussion from our last meeting, and I'm going to read exactly what that Mass General Law is. It goes on to state a public body may meet in executive session only for the following purposes: to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health rather than professional competence of an individual, or to discuss discipline or dismissal of or complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual. The individual to be discussed in such executive session shall be notified in writing by the public body at least 48 hours prior to the proposed executive session, provided, however, that notification may be waived upon written agreement of the parties. A public body shall hold an open session if the individual involved requests the session be open. So that being said, I would entertain a motion to enter under executive session under that Mass General Law.
So,
I'll step down and second the motion to enter into executive session. Further discussion? No. Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Kevin Bernardo is an aye. Thomas Byers is an aye. So we'll go into executive session. Oh, I'm sorry, before you stop, we will return to open session after this period.
Okay. Wait.
Yes. Okay.
So we're returning to open session.
I think we're right.
He's still connecting. He can't hear us yet.
She went out there and unlocked the door and take the sign off, please.
The door is unlocked, but what's the ID?
Oh, I thought you put the sign on.
Mr. Hull, can you hear us?
Is Jim supposed to be here?
Yeah, let Jim know we're back, Ross.
Okay.
Mr. Hull, can you hear us? Do you want to text him and let him know that the meeting is resumed?
Yes.
Please.
You should have walked.
No,
We're live, right?
Yes,
we are live, we're being recorded, yes.
Jim said if we need him,
Okay. I'm not sure I said it where it's 6:38. And we're gonna be returning to open session. Welcome, Mr. Hall. Can you hear us okay? Okay, moving on to new business, item 4A. We talked about this before, it's the kennel bylaw. The kennel bylaw was written by myself, town administrator, town clerk, Mark Chico, and our animal control officer, Stacy Perry. The proposed amended bylaw removes the necessity for a special permit to get a kennel license, but only on the residential kennels. We did this because of the cost for a special permit through the zoning board is probably way too much that people want to pay, so they were not getting a kennel license. So we would prefer to move along with this, and the only other board that probably fits the bill to have any kind of hearing is the Board of Health. I think kennels and would come under our purview per se, only because of the nuisance problem that could occur. So our plan is to, and I started writing regs with the regulation with Mark Pacheco, the town clerk already. Our only role in this would be to host a hearing and have people come in. The process will still be, the permit will still be issued by the town clerk, the permit granting authority over there. So the only role we have is, like I said, to hold a hearing. And the only cost to the resident would be, and we decided that this may work. Town clerk is now working on what I presented to him a few days ago, which were the regulations. So the kennel bylaw is written, the regulations are gonna be written. All we have to do is look at them and approve them because they're gonna be Board of Health regulations. So, unless you have any questions, this is already with the planning board, since it's gonna be amended by them. I just wanted to get your feeling on this and thoughts.
On the regulations, is there a specific lot size or?
There could be.
That's what I'm really in favor, I don't want, like down near the village, people have.
But we're a right to farm community too, so I don't know if that plays into dogs.
I don't know.
Yeah, even then, you can't have, you have tight quarters like that, and animal needs time of room, and nuisances, and you're just asking for.
Well, when the town clerk and I are done with the regulations that we think the procedural protocol we follow, we'll bring it back to the board, and then we'll tweak it a little bit, because it's gonna be our regulation.
Yeah.
So I would bring it before the
And then
board,
a public hearing for a regulation.
before anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see what's proposed in the regulation.
Well, they have to have they're having a meeting, like a public hearing on it, right, at the planning board or something?
So you're okay with the particular motion that's gonna be coming up?
Yeah, and it's basically just, because of mostly the fee, correct?
Yeah, well, the fee is the kennel license, which they'll pay over there. We're not gonna charge a fee for a hearing. They're gonna be mailing out first class mail with a certificate of mailing showing that they mailed a letter to someone. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars on certified mail, now we're talking maybe 60 cents for a piece of mail to take off the financial burden of the people, so. If you don't have any other issues and think this is okay to move forward, and the regulations are another story. So I think we could get a motion to approve going forward with the new kennel residential amendment.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I'm gonna step down to second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Kevin Bernardo's an aye, Thomas Myers is an aye. Okay, I don't know if we want to attack this tonight,
I think, let me just say, the meeting that was supposed to be at 7 o'clock here is not here anymore.
okay,
So it looks like they may have moved to the lower level of town hall, so.
okay.
Who was that?
Library Book Club.
Oh, yeah, they are over there now.
Well, if they show up.
So you don't need to race, is what I'm trying to get at.
How about if we take item 4C out of order, do you mind making that motion?
Make a motion, we take, 4C out of order.
Okay, I'll step down to second that motion. Motion made by Kevin Bernardo to take item 4C out of order, seconded by Thomas Myers. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thomas Myers is an aye. Okay. Motion carries. Item 4C, review, discuss, and act recommend the appointment of special agent Diane Heath for tobacco enforcement for the town of Dayton.
So Marilyn Edge obviously is back covering for Steph Baker right now, but Steph has moved on, so this is the new person to replace
Yeah.
Marilyn, followed by Steph, so.
This is a new tobacco control enforcement office. We're just recommending at this point to the Board of Selectmen to appoint this individual as the tobacco enforcement officer.
She works under, like, Marilyn is, full-time over there now?
She only came back 10 hours a week. She retired, they brought her back when Seth was out, and now she's working. I think she said she's still doing the 10 hours with Diane, but Diane would like to come to our next meeting after she gets appointed.
And eventually, I know it's meant to, I'd like to work on these regs,
It's been on the to-do pile for a while,
just
yes.
because, to get her input as well.
Well, I mentioned that to her when she called and introduced herself, and she said that she needed a little bit of time to get acclimated, because I mentioned that we were trying to do that with the regs, and she's like, oh, that's great. She said, I'm just gonna need a little bit of time to get settled before I can help you with that.
I'll make a motion that we recommend the appointment of a special agent Diane Heath to the tobacco enforcement agent.
Motion made by Kevin Bernardo to recommend to the Board of Selectmen the appointment of Special Agent Diane Heath for a tobacco enforcement officer. I'm going to step down and second it. Thomas Myers. Any further discussion, Mr. Bernardo? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Kevin Bernardo is an aye. Thomas Myers is an aye. We're gonna go back to 4B. We talked about this a little bit earlier, new construction. Title V has its definition.
This is for septic systems you're referring to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we wanna, we have 2 weeks to our next meeting, do we wanna think about this and put something together? Or do we wanna discuss it this
So you
evening?
can probably just read it, and then we probably, because Matt's not here.
Yes, and
I would recommend that.
Kevin, did Lakeville or Freetown have a definition that you know of, that you remember?
No, the only thing we did differently was, we had, when was a Title V required? We had additional language on that. So
Which I think we've adopted here.
Yeah, yes, and I think that's one I added, yes, for them. Because a lot of times we're like, besides just the property sale, the other things can happen when you need a Title V.
We can see if another town has a definition too. I feel like I've worked in a town like Sharon or something like that.
But that definition comes from the state regulations, so.
yeah, it's pretty, one of the things I see it back when we talked about it, and it was an interpretation, is that new construction shall not include replacement or repair of a building in existence as of March 31, 95. Some are interpreting that to mean not voluntarily destroyed or demolished. It doesn't say that, so that's something we need to clarify. And do we want to,
After that date, it was 4 holes, right?
or,
After 1995 was, yeah, right, that was,
so, that was one of the things that I think, that I'm not even sure, I guess we can change, clarify what voluntary means. But, yeah, I would like Matt's input, we can actually send this to him, Roz,
Okay.
for comments for our meeting in, on the 14th.
And just so, if we ever did change that, for wells, public drinking water and septic sewer, if you change those regs, obviously you have to have a public hearing, so we can actually work on this, and then if we ever did change that and we work on our regs, we can change everything at once.
Yeah, we're gonna start reviewing the regs also, and we have a few items right now that,
And you propose,
moving forward, our plan is to review the regs, including the new ones, and invite installers, engineers for their input, which is what we did last time, but I think only 4 or 5 of them showed up, right? So that way there,
I think it was even less than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that,
they had an opportunity for input to what we're doing. If, you know, they have a problem, they should have spoken up at our hearing.
so that's the public hearing on the first one.
Yeah, so we don't want any surprises going forward if we do this. As a matter of fact, we would probably send out those we adopted to all of the installers and engineers. So we did that last
We
time,
did,
right?
yep.
I thought so. Now, item,
Do we need
okay,
to,
let's table, 4B until.
motion to table 4B, definition of new construction?
Okay, motion made by Kevin Bernardo to table item 4B, which is definition of new construction. Thomas Byers will sit down and second the motion. All those in favor? Kevin, aye. Thomas Byers, aye. Motion is carried to table 4B. I think, how do you feel about 4D? Same thing, I think.
Resident handbook, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, this came about, it's actually, it was the town administrator's idea, and I think it was a good idea to move forward. Actually, I did a little research, and there are some towns that do have a listed procedure of what to expect when you're installing or repairing a septic system.
And we are working on our proposed regs. This is a good time, while we're doing our workshops,
Yeah,
to say, flag things and say, yes, a homeowner should be aware of. And that would probably be through the engineer to give it to the homeowner, whatever it is, however we decide.
Right.
We can flag some items where we say, this is what a homeowner should know.
yeah, there's a lot going on, and now we're back with contact tracing. I don't know where we're going, we do have 4 applicants for this. I'm not sure where that's gonna go, we may have regionalization, I'm not sure. But that's down the road for another day when we talk about that. But, yeah, I noticed, when I looked up some towns, they did have, at least on the, not a handbook per se, but they had the steps involved on their own website, the Board of Health website. So we could decide whether we want a little handbook or whether we want to do it that way. This is another thing I think Matt would be pretty good at with us, even you also, so whoever wants to take it on, other than me.
So, motion to table,
Yeah, 4D.
4D.
Okay, motion's been made by Kevin Bernardo to table item 4D, seconded by Thomas Byers. All in favor?
Aye.
Kevin Bernardo is an aye, Thomas Byers also an aye. 4E, there were no other items that I was aware of. Did we add anything on there? Okay. So let's have inspectors reports.
I have online. Other items not basically, so that was just, okay.
It's
Yeah,
just,
nothing else.
if there was nothing, yeah.
Sorry, I misread that.
Yeah, it's something, I've seen other places do, and it seems to be a way to talk about something at a meeting when it wasn't.
Yeah, I
on the
like
agenda.
it, so I misread, I thought he had something else.
Without having to revise the agenda a minute before, so, yep. So we have our marijuana facility in town that's getting ready to open. They're within probably a month of opening. So they're gonna be filing their marijuana application with this board, so that'll be on the, anticipated it'll be on the agenda for the next meeting for us to talk about it, so. We had a meeting with them today. I don't know if there's anything you wanna say about it too, or if that's. Mr. Mullen was there at the meeting.
Yeah, like really helpful meeting. We understood, like that, one connection up on Wayne Street, they're actually, they're doing very well, looking to close everything up. So we had a meeting just to, punch list meeting to see where everything was, what things were outstanding based on the flow chart coming from, the Cannabis Advisory Board. And this is a really helpful, like we just went through punch list items. We identified a few things where, the applicant will be coming back before the Board of Selectmen the night before the 14th as well. So, but a really good meeting, and we want to help keep things moving as well. And it was a really good meeting to that end. So.
Did they have any questions about regarding our regulations? You provided them.
Yeah, I gave them a copy of the regs in the application, and they said they would get it back into us pretty soon, so. The month of September was ridiculous for perks. I did 16 perks in 15 days with the help of Mr. Pyers, who came out and hung out for large quantities of time at several locations, including doing 2 at the same time on several days. So he was at one place while I was at the other. But there was just an awful lot of applications that came in. There's a lot of new construction. You'll see a lot of for sale signs as you drive down the street on, pieces of woods and swamp everywhere. So we've had a lot of that. I reported on COVID last night to the selectmen. Ross and I finally kind of gotten a handle on all the cases. Since we started tracing on September 16th, there's been something like 42 new cases or something, but it's resulted in over 100 people that were following because of all the quarantines and the isolations. These do not include the ones that the nurses are testing at the schools or the people that are home testing. These are only the ones going in the Maven when we report the numbers. The school nurses are a little stressed out right now with all the people that are following and trying to deal with all the kids and the adults that go with the kids. But we've been jumping in and helping on that. Hopefully, they're gonna be doing the test and stay program. Hopefully, we'll be getting more running in another, it should have been done last week, but the CIC, don't ask me what that stands for, is very understaffed right now and overwhelmed, so they're trying to get the program underway. What else? It's just been really, really busy. A lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, trying to get caught up. Stormwater takes up some time because we've got some stuff there. Obviously, we've had some rainstorms and there's been people complaining about things and we've had stuff to deal with on that. We've had, I don't know what another application came in or whatever, but we've had a couple of solar facilities that are nearing the end of their permitting and one that's getting ready to turn it on. Like we've had to do the final inspections out there, but I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything else to report. I probably do, I just don't remember it.
Yeah, just want to say that, I don't know what you call it when you do it in 15 minutes, what do you call that? The perk.
Oh, I'm unable to pre-soak. So it's 24 gallons in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah, that happened on both of them we did today.
Yeah.
Amazing, I couldn't believe it.
Doesn't usually happen in Titan.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, well, welcome, Commissioner.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good, thank you. You're actually next.
You're just in time to give a report, or
You're
you're
watching this downstairs.
No, he asked me to come up.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
building commissioner report.
Oh, That's amazing. Okay, perfect timing.
I texted him.
I was,
Oh.
I was somebody's, well, I don't mean to disappoint, I'm sorry, I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
But thank you for giving me the.
Okay, you can leave.
Done with you.
All right, building commissioner, we're going to go into public input.
I do have a couple questions.
Yes, Selectman Hull, go ahead.
They're harmless, I promise. Regarding Mrs. Heath, is there a grant that's paying her salary or is that coming out of your budget?
What do you say?
Is it a grant that pays for her, or are we paying it out of our budget?
Oh, the tobacco control person?
Yes,
Yeah, that's not our money, that's funded
Tobacco-
through the state.
okay, because in Taunton, it was a tobacco grant paid for the enforcement person.
This is a collaborative still, right?
Yeah, they're out of Fall River. That's where they're based out of, and, I think they would have told us, they had told us in the past when grant money wasn't gonna be available for them. They didn't tell us that this time, but we can double check that, make sure they.
Yeah, we should double check if we're still part of the
Yeah,
collaborative.
we're gonna do that, we're gonna double check, make sure they're still on the grant.
That's a good question.
Because otherwise we'll have to, either put it off until we can find some money or whatever, so. Okay, second harmless question.
How many dogs in Dayton how many dogs that are owned require a kennel? Is it based on a number?
4 or more.
4 or more? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good.
That's it.
Thank you, Selectman Hull.
You are.
Town Administrator, Mr. Mullin, anything you want to add?
So the only thing quickly I just want to add, and I mentioned it last night, I've been in touch with the health agent. The state, through what they're calling the Attleboro Group, the Mass Association of Health Boards, they're trying to put together a regional public health program. And Dayton has been included as a town that's been invited to get in on the ground floor. Very early in the conversation, I think Michael Hugo, who's the legislative and government affairs person from the Association of Health Boards, he's trying to take a temperature right now of who could be interested. And then the RFI, I believe, is supposed to come out in the next week and a half or so, and I think he's gonna bring everyone back together. At that point, so all of us can have more involved with conversations. There's a lot of implementation efforts through potential intermunicipal agreements, where that would be where the devil is gonna be in the details, or all the details are gonna be worked out. But right now, according to Michael the other night, about 250 out of 351 communities are already in some type of regional regional sharing effort. And the state and the MAHB is focusing a lot on Plymouth and Bristol counties, so some more to come on that. It is exciting, but it'll be a lot of work too.
What it's worth, we're a member of MAHB, so.
Yes.
If you can save some money that way because we're a member.
So no, he was great. He was.
Okay.
So that's all I answered to him. Thank you.
Is there anybody else on I can't see that far.
No.
Commissioner, you still have nothing to say, correct?
I know that's a rare occurrence, I understand.
All right.
I have school next week at UMass Amherst, so I'm trying to clean my desk up as best I can,
We
so.
better rush for that.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes of August 12th, 2021?
Make a motion we approve August 12th, 2021 minutes.
Motion by Kevin Bernardo to approve the minutes of August 12th, 2021. Thomas Pires stepping down to second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Thomas Pires. Motion carries, approve the minutes. If there's nothing else, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn made by Kevin Bernardo, seconded by Thomas Flyers. All in favor? Kevin Bernardo's an aye, Thomas Flyers is an aye. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening.
Aye,
Have a wonderful weekend. Take care now.
good night.
Right. 7 o'clock, not bad.